is bright. Good morning. Oh man, I left my water. Good morning, good morning. Oh, that sun ain't playing no games. Woo. It's cold out here though. It's cold. It's cold. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ooh, it's cold. I can't see a damn thing. Okay, so I wanted to come talk. I don't know if this is gonna be the best place because I can't see, but I wanted to come talk this morning about forgiveness. Good morning. This is a morning motivation, and I was laying in the bed and I was trying to think of, excuse me, what I wanted to talk about today. And the first thing that came to my mind was believing in yourself. And the second thing that came to my mind was forgiveness. I kept going back to forgiveness and how important forgiveness is. You know, not just for if somebody did something to you, for you to forgive them, but how important it is for you to forgive yourself for allowing certain things to happen. And if you don't, this is not gonna be no long live because I'm hungry and I haven't ate yet. And so, but I wanted to just say, if you don't forgive yourself or forgive the people that have crossed you or done something bad to you, then the energy just keeps coming back to you. You keep reliving the situation and you really never move forward. You never really like get past whatever they did to you. It's lime in my water this morning. But yeah, I was sitting here thinking like it's some people that have done some things to me, and every now and then, out of nowhere, you know, the feeling of surface up again, the feeling of betrayal and hurt and all of that stuff. And I've been trying to figure out, like what to do. A lot of times we think, you need to go talk to the person if they did something to you. But what if it's yourself that you got to forgive? Like, how do you forgive yourself? And so, a lot of us, including myself, we'll go and we'll self-medicate so we don't feel like whatever the pain is or whatever is hurting us. We'll go self-medicate, whether it's drinking, smoking, whatever kind of, pick your poison. Eating, some of us eating, it's sex, can be a drug too. And it numbs the feeling. But what happened when you stop doing that? Like, what happened when you start drinking? What happened when you start smoking? What happened when you start relying on external things to soothe your inner wounds and to make you feel better? Like, how do you process it then? Do you go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, go get some therapy? And outside of going to someone else, like, can you heal your own self? How can you heal your own self? And what I came up with for myself, the first thing that I had to realize was that don't nobody owe you anything. Like, yeah, you want to forgive them, but you thinking in your head like, well, they did this to me, right? So I ain't gonna forgive them. I'm gonna hold on to this feeling and whatever. But if you keep hanging on to that, it just start eating you away. So you have to release the feeling. You have to figure out how you gonna move forward without letting this tear you down. Like, how can you fix yourself really without doing drugs and all the other stuff? So for me, I think my healing is coming out through, or I'm healing myself through my creative, you know, stuff. Whatever I do that allows me to create. And I do like I don't tell like you guys everything. I don't share everything, but I am very like transparent. But there's some things that I still struggle with, like talking about in public, because I know it's gonna make other people feel some type of way when it do come out. If they see it or hear it or something, and so I'm working on how to what else can I do to make myself, you know, feel better without hurting other people. And honestly, like at the end of the day, I don't have to, and nobody really does have to worry about other people. Like if you your kids, yeah, but when you become an adult, like your parents and people don't owe you nothing. They don't have to like you don't like I don't cut off. I think it's bad. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, like back to what I was saying. I don't people don't owe me nothing. I don't owe nobody else nothing, and I have to remind myself that and understand that I'm trying to heal myself, and so if I'm in the process of healing, then anything is okay. Everything is okay as long as it's not like I say drugs or hurting somebody else and things like that. Is that a dog? I think somebody's dog walking around. So one thing that I do, like I was saying, back to me trying to heal myself and like sharing it with other people, is to just be creative, to allow yourself to create. And one of the things that I'm working on right now is writing a book. And the truth is, like when you sit down and start writing, and you processing like why you writing, why you going through this, what is the point of you writing this story? You Rocky. He see a dog. It's a dog down the street that ain't on no leash, and he see him. But anyways, you have to go through. I go through this process when I'm writing, and it takes me back to whatever, you know, feeling that I'm trying to heal myself from. And even in writing it, even when I'm writing or typing, however I'm processing or recording it, because sometimes I record it, I still have this thought process of worrying about other people. And so I'm working on that. But back to forgiveness. No Rocket, leave that cat alone. Look, it's all type. No Rocket. No Rocket. He trying to go get this cat. Them cats on there, they be walking up on us and they don't be knowing. No Rocket. Let me get him real quick, cause it's the dog out here. I hope that dog don't come down here. But yeah, you really do have to forget. Like if you don't forgive yourself, that energy be eating you up, and it's easy to just like suppress the feeling because you may be worried about like me, like worried about other people and how it's gonna make them feel and things like that. But don't worry about other people. Don't go out intentionally hurting people. I ain't saying that. But if you working on yourself and you trying to heal yourself, and in the process of healing yourself, you need to forgive yourself and forgive the people who have crossed you or have done things to you that you know, didn't like or whatever. That it's not gonna that energy is gonna sit there, that feeling's gonna sit there, and until you deal with it, it may be dormant. It may just be laying there and you don't even know that, you know, you behaving in certain ways and you act in a certain way because you got this feeling inside of you. You got this, you know, anger sometimes because you haven't processed the feeling. You haven't went through the whole emotion of, or the whole process of resolving the feeling. I think I said it right. Resolving? Yeah, resolving the issue. Ooh, hold on, y'all. He is free. Come here, Rocket. I'm gonna let him back out in a minute, but it's a dog running through the neighborhood, and I don't want them to start fighting. I don't want them to start fighting. But forgiveness is something that is really hard for us, you guys, as humans, because you'll be thinking like, oh, let me forgive them, and you forgot to forgive yourself. You know, and if something happened to you when you was a kid, I mean, that's different because you was a kid. So forgiving yourself is like, you know, how can I forgive myself? You see, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm distracted because that dog, like, he really running through the neighborhood and he's just like gone. But it's hard to forgive yourself sometimes, and you don't even know what, like, or I was talking about being a kid, but it's really hard to forgive yourself sometimes, because sometimes you don't even know that you need to forgive yourself. Sometimes you will sit here and think like, oh, I'm better, especially if it's like a relationship thing, and you know you done moved on, whatever, but you get upset at the person. You be mad at the, or you think you be mad at the person. Really, you be mad at yourself because you let whatever they did to you happen. I know that sounds jacked up, like, yeah, I ain't let nobody do that, but we allow certain people to be in our lives, and we allow certain things to happen. Some of us continue to allow those things to happen, and we never really like take the time to figure out why we're allowing this and things like that. And so I just think forgiveness is something big. YouTube don't want me to record this video. Maybe it's saying stop trying to forgive people. Maybe somebody don't want me to talk about forgiveness this morning because the connection keep cutting out. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about that this morning. Lay that on your heart. Do you need to forgive yourself? Do you need to forgive other people around you? It's gonna be hard to forgive somebody that hurt you, like for real, like that really like hurt you. And you might think that you be done hear from it, like I was saying earlier. You might think like, oh, I'm over that, and then boom, you in some other relationship or some other situation, and because you haven't really dealt with, you know, the pain, all that from the previous situation, then you mess around and get triggered in a new relationship. And I do think forgiveness is a part of healing. So that's why I'm kind of like using it in the same conversation. Because you really can't completely heal until you really figure out how to forgive yourself and the other people, that or the other person or whatever that have hurt you. And people do hurt you. They don't mean to sometimes. Sometimes people will hurt you and they don't even know that they're doing it. It's a lot of trauma in the world, a lot of pain, a lot of pain. And a lot of us don't know how to deal with it. And so we just do stuff that like kind of suppress the feeling, kind of push it down, you know, push it down. Then we end up depressed. Don't know why we depressed, because you ain't really went through all the like emotions of, or the phases of healing. It take a while sometime to heal too, depending on how deep the wound is. It take a while, especially if it's something that's been going on like for years, or it's been going on, you know, something that hasn't been dealt with since childhood. It take a while to learn how to forgive. I mean, to heal. It take a while to heal, and forgiveness is the biggest part of healing, and not like I say, not just forgiving the other person, forgiving yourself. And how do you forgive yourself? Like, how am I supposed to forgive myself? Just when I'm looking at myself, I look at myself as a child sometimes. Not that I'm a child, but as I'm my child. Like, I'm parenting myself. And so I give myself, you know, room to grow, and I allow myself, I give myself, I'm trying to be patient with myself. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to be patient with myself and just aware of how I'm feeling and stuff like that, and give myself the, you know, acknowledge that I'm feeling a certain way, acknowledge that this is how I feel, and it's okay that you feel like that. But we can't stay in this energy. Like, you can't stay feeling like this. So what do? I think creating, whether it's art, you know, writing, you just have to create, like express how you feel, whether it's like I said, it's writing, drawing, building stuff. I don't care what it is. Just start creating, because that energy will, or the motions of you going through the creating will let that energy flow. Like, if you in that mind frame, somebody hurt you, and you just start writing about, you know, the pain and how you processing the pain and how it make you feel, just write it out. That's why you see a lot of people, a lot of successful people journaling, because it help you process your emotions, it help you process the feelings, it help you process, you know, what's happening to you right now. And then you can go back and read it and reflect on, like, okay, well, this is how I was feeling. And then when you can acknowledge it, then you can just move forward. And you're aware. Did he get that dog? I think he got him. He been running through the streets. I'm gonna let Rocket back out. The connection keep cutting in and out. I'm not really sure why, cause we outside. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I do feel like a lot of us don't take the time out to heal ourselves properly. Just go through it and be like, oh, I'll be all right, and just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Just I'll be all right. I'll be all right. And we taught that, like, suck it up. Don't cry. Fix your face. All of that. Don't be weak. It's okay to be weak sometimes. It's okay to be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. If you're going to be vulnerable with yourself. Start there. Because that's probably more safe than just, like, going and talking to, some people about how you feel and things like that. Unless it's a psychiatrist or something, psychologist that can help you, like, for real, work through your problems. But going and talking to your friends about certain things, if you got a good friend, you probably should talk about it. But even then, you don't want to just be talking to your friends about your problems and putting that out there. Just, I wouldn't be telling my friends everything and my family members. Sometimes you really need to learn how to, like, heal yourself, and maybe go talk to somebody that you don't know. Because normally people, when you go to therapy or something and you're talking to somebody that you don't know, you're a little more open with them and honest about how you feeling. When you're talking to people that you know about, you're a little more, like, reserved and stuff like that. And so I would say, to process, for me, I think the process of healing and forgiving, especially, like, forgiving, like I say, myself, it starts with me. It started with me journaling. Like, I've been journaling or writing my feelings down for years, and I got, like, notes and all stuff throughout the house, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just, like, writing it out. And so, but now I realize, like, that's the process of me healing. And so I share that with people, like, start journaling. Don't always journal when you sad, though. Like, when you sad about something, and it's cool when you sad and you want to, if you're trying to get it out, just write it out or whatever, to go through the emotion. But journal when you're not sad. Oh, hold on, y'all. Come here, Rocket. I thought he had got that doggone dog. It's a dog running through the neighborhood, so I don't want Rocket to he been watching us, so I keep putting him up. And I thought the man had got the dog, but it don't look like he did. But anyways, I do journal a lot, and I think when you're talking about forgiving as a process of healing, journaling is great, whether you in something bad, like if you're going through something bad or not, because you can go back and reflect on it. You can go back and read and say, oh yeah, this how this, I understand now. It may be what's the word I'm looking for? You may, when you go back and read it, you may get something else from what you wrote. Like, you could have been thinking one thing when you wrote it, but when you go back and read it, something else, like, triggers. So I'm really about journaling and writing and just creating. I think a lot of people get so caught up in their adult life that they stop creating. And that's a part of healing. Like, I definitely think creating, whether it's, I don't care what you create something, but just being that energy of creativity allows you to forgive and to heal and to be able to move forward in life and not be hanging on to certain, feelings and energies that don't really serve you. Good morning, good morning. And so definitely take the time out to start creating. You might not have to write a book and a tell all. I ain't saying all of that. Don't do it. If you don't, you can write a book if you want to, and you can do a tell all if you want to. But I feel like just the process of writing it and reading what you wrote and sitting with that may be good. I watch YouTube videos all the time. That's why, like, some of the people that I be watching on YouTube, they're very, vulnerable with their audience. They're very transparent, and I like that because I'm a like transparent person. And so I take from other people like how they heal and how they go through their process. And so this is a form of healing to me because it allows me to share, my experience and share my journey with you guys. And then if I need to, I can go. Sometimes I'll go back and watch my videos and I'll be done said something talking to you guys. And then it might be a message for me, even though I'm talking to you. Sometimes it don't be me like it's me talking, but the message could be for you and me. Like I'll be off the cuff most of the time on my videos. I might have an idea of what the video gonna be about. Like I knew the video this morning was gonna be about forgiveness because I've been working on that with myself. Like not just forgiving myself, but being like dealing with trauma and pain and stuff like that. When I'm dealing with that stuff, it's just like, okay, don't forget, you got to forgive that person, but don't forget to forgive yourself. Or you have to let that situation go, but it's okay that happened because this is what happened as a result of this happening. A lot of times when something we call bad happens to us, it's not necessarily bad. Like it could have seemed bad at the time, but it set you up for something good. So was it really bad or was it just a part of the process? But I think it's a lot of trauma in the world. It's a lot of hurt people, especially like I'm gonna say in the African American community because that's where I'm at. In the Black community, one of my friends said, "Don't say I'm African American." So I don't even know half the time like what's correct because you got some people saying you African American, some people saying you Black. I don't know, but being from America and being melanated, it's a lot of traumas that have happened to us in our community, and most of us have not went to any type of professionals to get any type of help, like professional help. And so we moving through life hurt, and then we hurting other people in the process and don't even realize it because most of us don't take the time to realize, to sit with how we feeling. People get mad, like if you're in the hood, somebody make you mad, you might end up dead because they so hurt they gonna shoot you. You might make somebody mad, they might end up robbing you because they hurt. If somebody robbed you or stole something from you, forgive them. Forgive them. They hurt. Forgive yourself too. It's gonna be hard to forgive somebody that really took something from you. What if somebody took your life, took like somebody's life from you? Like how you forget that? What if somebody killed your kid or something? Your mama, your cousin got shot up. How you forget that? That's the Black community. That's the African American community. I know somebody right now stay across the street from somebody that shot, like the cousin shot the other cousin or whatever, like they shot the cousin, stay across the street. How you forgive somebody for killing your cousin? That's trauma. But you have to. Because if not, it's going to eat at you and you're going to be moving in a real like low vibrational killer type of way, and next thing you know you in jail because you done killed somebody because you hanging on. Maybe you done killed somebody else because they done said something slick about your cousin that's dead. Now you want to kill him when really you was mad at the dude that killed your cousin, but he might have shot your cousin because you said something. It's all like, it's crazy. But forgiveness have to be, you have to forgive. You got to forgive yourself for how you think sometimes. Because we could come up with some crazy stuff in our own mind, but it's normally because you processing pain in the wrong way. Like pain, what I'm learning, and I'm gonna make a video on pain. Pain is used to keep you focused. When you hurt, you focused. Now I ain't saying always focus on, whatever hurt you. Like, yeah, it hurt, and then don't focus on the negative aspect of it. Shift your focus into something that's gonna actually benefit you. I'm telling you, write a book about something. Go start a YouTube channel about something, mental health. Like that's a big thing, especially in the African American community, Black community. Ain't nobody going telling you to go to no psychiatrist or go to no doctor. I'm gonna tell you to go because I've been to several of them throughout the years, and I don't care. I ain't on no mental health drugs, like no medication, and I won't take no drugs like that. and if I, as long as I'm in a sound mind. But I will tell you this: it was way more beneficial for me to go talk to a therapist than it was for me to go talk to one of my friends that's hurt and bitter and don't know and haven't healed their own self. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. I went to therapy. I went to a therapist when I was young. When you're a teenager, your parents think you crazy. You probably do be a little bit throwed off. But it's hard when you got people around you that don't understand you and they can't communicate. You can't communicate your struggles and what you got going on. It's hard when you like that when you a kid. But I went to a therapist when I was older. I done been to a therapist a couple of times, and it's beneficial because it put me in a like awareness. Like it gave me the ability to be more self-aware. Excuse me. It gave me the ability to be more self-aware, and because I'm a little more self-aware, I'm able to go through my pain process a lot faster now. But I know it's people that be out here hurting. I ain't in the hood, but I'm out here and I can see the pain. Everybody smoking weed, everybody on some kind of drug, everybody on something, liquor, weed, pills, something. Shit, pills from like prescription pills. And I ain't knocking it because I'm one of them. I can speak on it. But what I know is that even when you come off of that drug, whatever was hurting you, you still got to deal with it. So either you finna be on that drug for the rest of your life, or you gonna have to deal with the pain. And dealing with the pain is healing, and part of healing is forgiveness. Imagine being like on drugs for most of your life, like a real like a serious drug like meth, crack, like cocaine, all that stuff, like real hard, real stuff. I ain't talking about weed. Like weed can be addicted, not addicted, but I do think from where I come from, I think weed is more like a suppressive drug where you're not gonna wake up. Well, some people do wake up wanting to smoke weed and stuff like that, but it's not like how it numbs, like with cocaine and all of that crack and stuff. Like that's gonna take you to a whole nother level. Weed ain't like that. Weed just gonna make you more like chill and not, angry. That's what it do for me. I don't know how it affects other people, but it don't. Like if you get mad and you smoke some, like somebody hurt your feelings, you go smoke some weed. You done kind of like let whatever happened go, but you ain't really deal with what happened. You just like, oh, whatever, fucking, I don't care. It's one of them. But when you come down, then what? You know what I'm saying? So then you don't want to come down because you feel you start thinking about whatever you was thinking about when you wanted to smoke. So then you got to smoke again, so you don't feel it no more. Like you don't want to deal with it. And sometimes you might think like for me, I'm like I ain't got time to deal with this right now because I got to get this done. So I ain't got time to be in my feelings and processing pain, and because sometimes you'll be processing it and the pain will be lingering for days. It'll be lingering for days, months, sometimes. And dang, I still feel that. You should like let yourself feel that for however long. Don't be mad it take you 2, 3, 4, 5 years to get over something. If it take you that long, it take you that long. Go through that. Let that be what it is. Don't beat yourself up because it's taking you, 5 years to get over somebody you was with for 15 years. Like you got to go through it. And time, like we be all on time, like I need to hurry up and get through this, but time ain't really relevant. Time is something that we did to keep track of the date. But when you really think about like the whole universe and the world, time ain't real. Time ain't real. Time be like we be like flying by sometimes, but because it's not really real. It's just something that we do. Like it's something that humans have constructed so we can live here and have like structure on earth. But it ain't something that the universe really, God really don't recognize time. Because if God recognizes time, think about this: when you need your rent paid, you get your rent paid. You pray and it'll be there. But it don't work like that. If you pray for your rent to get paid, you might not see that answer until next year, and then God might start putting you in situations where your rent gonna get paid. But you got to put the work in first. You can't be out here asking. This dog is really running through the streets. You got to put the work in first, And then when it's time for you to receive whatever you need to receive from God, the universe, then it'll come, but it ain't gonna be on your time. So that's why I say time ain't real. But forgiveness is real. You definitely need to forgive yourself. You definitely need to forgive whoever. But forgiving yourself is gonna be the hardest thing, because sometimes, like I said, you ain't gonna even know that you need to forgive yourself. You're gonna be like, I ain't did nothing. You let something happen, especially if it's in relationships that you done been in that you feel like wasn't, in your best interest. Definitely time is something that, I mean, not time, excuse me, forgiveness is something that you're gonna be looking like, well, the other person did this to me. Yeah, they might have done some things, but you participated in that if you kept dealing with them. I know it's cold. It's cold out here a little bit. But yeah, forgiveness. It's a nice day out here, but it's cold. That sun, like, right there. But yeah, so my process these days, like I say, is definitely for forgiving myself, has definitely come in the form of journaling. Write down how I feel, unpack it, go back and read it, unpack it some more. Like I say, go to a therapist. Don't be talking to people that ain't where you wanna be at. People that ain't where you trying to get, can't, they don't know how to get there. They ain't there yet. So don't be going talking to your friend that's in a relationship that don't like her baby daddy, that's always angry at him. Don't go tell her about your problems, because she ain't healed yet. She ain't even learned how to deal with her own stuff yet. You know, people, and then people put on a good front. Sometimes you'll have somebody around you that's pretending real good. But don't, I say go talk to a professional. I say go talk to a professional. Go talk to a professional that look like you too, especially when you black. Because I'm not saying other races don't know how to deal with black people, but black people understand black people and what traumas have happened to black people. And I ain't talking about just slavery. It is a remnants of slavery, some of the traumas that's going on in the African American black community. But I ain't talking about just slavery. Some of us don't even know how to communicate with each other without cussing each other out. Ooh, it's a bug. Without cussing each other out. And I ain't saying cussing when you're talking. I don't mind cussing when you're talking, because to me, I'm a passionate person, so I might cuss every now and then. To me, some people like that ain't lady, like whatever, to each his own. But I cuss sometimes because I be feeling it. Like I feel it, so I feel like cussing. But cussing, just talking, you gotta talk to somebody. I remember talking to this dude, and this is somebody that I thought he was somebody else. He was pretending, but he was comfortable with talking about calling women bitches. I don't like that, because if you comfortable with talking about your baby mama like that, when you get mad at me, guess what you gonna say? Bitch, and then we gonna have a problem. Because if you gonna call me a bitch, you gonna send that energy that my way. I might not be in the best energy. I might start acting like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I might start acting, a little bit low vibe, because you done sent that energy my way, and I ain't on, at the top of my energy game. But he just, and then kind of found out like he was on drugs, like real drugs. And when I say real drugs, I'm talking about like coke or hard. No, he was on coke. I think it was coke, but I ain't know. Like, people be pretending. There's a lot of people out here pretending, so you have to be careful of that. Pretending that they okay, pretending that they healthy and everything good, and they really don't be. They just be self-medicating. And self-medicating to the point where they functioning like a regular human being when they high as hell. And I'm talking about, like, I ain't never been on coke, so I don't know what to do. But I done did weed and drink, and to smoke and then be drunk at the same time. That's a feeling. But I couldn't even imagine. And sometimes I've been so like on it, you know, I be trying to come down like, whoa, I'm a little bit too high. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me come down a little bit. Especially that alcohol. That alcohol will mess you up. I don't mess with alcohol like that. I'm a wine drinker. I'll drink some wine, but lately I ain't been doing nothing because I realized I want to let that man got. I want to let my dog back out, but I realized that it's certain things that I need to process, and I can't process it if I'm always going to, some type of external stimulant when I feel certain things. And I had to forgive myself for that. Hold on, y'all. Come on. I done had to forgive myself for all type of stuff. The type of parent I wanted to be. Like, I wanted to be, you know, the family type. I had to forgive myself for leaving. Like, nah, this ain't gonna work. Because what I had to realize was that I hadn't figured out how to deal with pain for myself. And if I don't know how to deal with pain, this is a long time ago. I don't know how to deal with pain. You in a relationship, you married, you in there fighting. You want to fight them. You want to, you physically. Like my ex husband, like 6'3". This a big, he big. He trying to fight him, but I wanted to fight him because I didn't know how to process what was happening, like certain things, and he didn't need to start working. He didn't know how to process certain things, so instead he ain't gonna fight me, but he'll like shut down. Won't talk. You don't really know what's going on. He might go out to sleep with somebody else or be with somebody. I ain't saying he did it. I'm just saying, like, if when men in relationships and they can't communicate with a other person, and the same for women, but they gonna go find it somewhere else. The attention, the love, the compassion, whatever it is that they lacking at home, they gonna go find it somewhere else. I know too many men not have been around too long to know that they gonna go somewhere else. And they might not even want to go nowhere else, but don't know how to deal with the pain. Back to that. And then you got men out here you cold. You got men out here that they in relationships, and women might not know how to process their pain. They don't know how to process their pain, and then guess who get affected? The kids. It's a big old cycle. This is what is going on in the African American community, the black community. So I don't have no problem with talking about it. I'm not finna go tell you, I'm not gonna tell you that I'm perfect because I ain't. I'm a work in progress. But I do want other people to be aware of certain things, especially mental health. You gotta keep your mind right. That's your money maker right there. That's your money maker. And you can't, it's hard for you to start working on certain things in life and to get in certain places that you want to go when you got certain behaviors tied to you because you ain't figured out how to like deal with certain things and you haven't taken the time out to heal. So like if you're in a relationship, when you end a relationship, give yourself some time because you still got lingering things going on. You might end up hopping out of a relationship, hopping into something else, and you ain't even processed what just happened. So now you finna take that baggage into the next relationship. So now whoever you finna deal with got to deal with they shit and your shit. That's not fair. That's not fair. I'm guilty of it, so I'm speaking on it. I done made other people pay for something somebody else did, and I done paid for something somebody else did. I know it. That's why I stopped dating. I got to work on me first. I can do me first. Now, I do get in my feelings sometimes where I be thinking like, oh, I want to be in a relationship and all of that. But then guess what happens? Something remind me that we still healing. We ain't ready yet. I want to be the best version of myself for me. So then when you get into something, guess what happened? That other person, if I'm the best version of myself, the person that I'm dealing with automatically gonna be the best version of themselves. That's the law of the universe. That's the law of nature. That's how it goes. You get what you receive. If I'm sending out, high vibrations, then my husband, my spouse, my whoever, I don't even know if husband is the right word, because I'll be hearing people say partner. I used to hear partner, and I would think partner mean, um, you know, like a same sex relationship. Partner don't mean same sex relationship no more. Hold on, I can't see. Dana. Therapy has definitely helped me become more self-aware and how to deal with pain. It was difficult to do, but I'm so much more motivated and positive and happy to continue. Yeah, Dana. I think it's right. Dana, yeah. I'm sorry, the sun's got a glare on my screen, but yeah, you're right. But people don't want to go to therapy. They think it make you weak. You know how hard it was for me to go in there and talk to somebody and tell them, things that did nobody know. But I did it because I also wanted to be a better parent. Like I didn't want to be, lashing out on my son and stuff like that. I'm still a work in progress, so every now and then I might drop it up on it, and I'll just plan. But no, seriously, like I wanted to be a better version of myself for me, for him, like to show other people that you don't have to be mean and nasty and hateful and bitter all the time. It's hard though, because it's a lot of bitter people in the world and they don't even know it. They just living mad, angry. Can't understand why they the same situation or the same thing keep happening to them over and over again. Not taking the time out to figure out themselves. Pay attention to how you are behaving. Pay attention to you. The best thing you can do for the world is work on you. I had to learn that. It sound cliche because you be listening to more. I be listening. I used to listen to a lot of motivational videos and stuff, and you hear people saying, and I'm just like, man, I'm tired of hearing that. But it's true. It's true. The best thing that you can offer the world is the best version of yourself, because the best version of yourself probably got some type of book in you, some type of gadget in you that might bring, some type of peace and harmony to the world. You don't know. You never know. You never know. Imagine being the next Einstein or the next Thomas Edison or, even Marcus Garvey, one of the greats. You one of them, but you can't get to that energy because you ain't dealt with yourself yet and how to deal with pain. But people think, it's like I said, they think it's weak when you talk about pain. It was easy for me to ignore it. I promise you. It was easier for me to ignore my pain than it was for me to face it. I promise you. And it's still difficult because you got people around you that ain't going to want you to be better because they ain't better. Who you think you is trying to be better? You know? Who I think I am? I'm me. Bitch, I'm me. What that song is? I can't remember that song. I'm sorry. But I do listen. I used to listen to kind of like a lot of trap rap music. But some of it is kind of motivational when you be listening to it. I try to be careful of what I listen to because I know it'll program you and you'll honestly start believing some of that stuff. That's why I listen to Cardi B, like when they be talking about wet WAP and all of that. Like, if a woman don't know that a WAP ain't gonna keep a man, like, or get a man, like, come on, they can buy WAP. It's walk down the street for about $20. Cash apple. She'll get it to you. But I don't listen to that. But anyway, that's another part of like, pain. Listen to some of this rap music. They be in pain, just don't know how to deal with it. But they creating from a negative space. They creating from a negative space. Don't you go run after them cats. Sorry, my dog, he got his eyes on some cats right now. He see the cats down there and it's a dog down there running running around. So he don't know which way to go. But yeah, don't be careful of what you're listening to, the music, because the music is definitely not, some of the music ain't gonna help you get nowhere. But back to being, healing, like healing is hard. Healing is gonna take a lot more like energy than what you realize. And then it'd be like layers. Like I say, you'll be like, okay, cool, I'm ready for the world, and then boom. Like even with my dog, I have to catch myself when I get irritated with him. I get irritated with him because I can't walk throughout the house without him following me foot for foot. I can't go to the bathroom. I can't go to the kitchen. I can't go nowhere without him like right on my heel. And then I had to realize, like, what you get irritated with him for? He's a dog. Like, this is what they do. Irritated. What you irritated for? Unpack that. You know, write it out. Journal it. Journaling is the easiest thing. You can mess around and be your own therapist. Write out how you feel. But you got to be honest with yourself. A lot of people ain't honest with themselves. A lot of people lying to themselves. I'm okay. Da, da, da. Ain't nothing wrong with me. It's them. It's them. It's everybody else. It's everybody else's fault. I know a dude too. Blame other people for it. You blaming your friends because you lacking. How the hell is that a problem? You blaming your friends because they not the type of people that encourage you. Who is it? Joe? Is it their fault that they're not encouraging you, or is it your fault that you hanging around people that aren't encouraging you? Lack of self awareness. Lack of self awareness. Crazy. But yeah, man, what's happening? All right. But yeah, forgiveness and healing, and even just like going on like a walk. You know, when I'm gonna tell you when it really got easier for me to start healing, when I started working, when I started going to work for other people, and started decide when I decided I was gonna like work for myself, that was a form of healing for me. No, Rocket, come back. When I started working for other people, and because what it gave me the ability to do was to sit with myself. Rocket, come here. I would let him go, but that dog down there and the cat's over there. So good boy. Y'all want to say hey to the dog? Say hey, Rocket. Say hey to him. Can y'all see him? I can't